Congressman, the conferees, the House conferees, Senate and House conferees have now agreed on $15 million for funding throughout the nation for rail projects. How much of a setback will this be for the Carbondale rail relocation project?
Well, it is not as good as the figure that passed the House, and when we passed the House, we had $9.7 million designated for the Carbondale project. However, I met this afternoon with Ray Barnhart, the Federal Highway Administrator. He was in my office together with Carol Fry and Eldon Gosnell from the city of Carbondale, and we went over the thing. He's to get back to me in about 30 days as to what they're going to be doing. We don't know yet, but my hope is we'll have some funding for moving ahead.
Now, the bill is being sent on to the President at this time. How do you expect him to take the bill and react to it?
My assumption is the President is going to sign the bill, and we will go from there.
Mm-hmm. Does he have any option of changing the figure at this point?
No. Under the federal Constitution, unlike the state of Illinois Constitution, the President cannot change any figures. Incidentally, it's one of the things I think we ought to modify. I believe the President ought to have the ability to reduce an appropriation somewhat. I think we could save some money.
How soon will it be, Congressman, before the Federal Highway Commission makes decisions on allocations?
We should be hearing back in about 30 days. He said he would get back to me in about 30 days. I assume that at that point he will indicate either an amount or that we're out of the ballpark or what the situation is. Obviously, if we get a negative reply, I'll be meeting with him again.
What does happen if there is no funding for Carbondale? Where do we go from here?
If there is no funding, then we just have to wait for another fiscal year. But my hope is that there will be funding, and at least at a modest level so that we can go ahead.
Okay. On another subject, I understand that you had a hearing recently or today on student loan defaults. What is the current situation nationwide on student loan defaults?
Well, the general picture is a pretty good one, much better than a lot of people realize. Our default rate on guaranteed student loans is about 5.8%. That's a smaller default rate than people have at banks in southern Illinois and around the nation on cars and refrigerators and other items that they pay for through bank loans. But we do have some problems, and particularly they're talking about moving roughly 120 to 180 jobs from Illinois out to San Francisco for loan collection. And frankly, we need all the jobs we can get in Illinois, and I'm fighting them on that move.
How are you fighting them on that?
Well, I brought him in today to testify, the Assistant Secretary of Education for Higher Education. We also have asked the Government Accounting Office to do a study whether such a move makes sense, and I am in contact by phone with the Secretary of Education, and I might add Bob Michael, the Republican leader in the House, is working with me on this.
One more question back on the rail relocation funding. I understand that support in the Senate was virtually nil for getting any sort of funding. In fact, the Senate wanted no funding at all for any projects like this. And I understand that there wasn't much support from Senator Percy. Any comment on that?
Well, obviously, I could make a comment. It might be slightly political in nature. I was disappointed, frankly, that the Senate did not include anything for Southern Illinois in the bill over there. We had it in the House, and I'm pleased to say that in conference committee we at least were able to achieve about half of it, but it would have been better had we had some money over in the Senate.
Very good. Let's see, we still got a couple of minutes left.
Well, I think, according to the thing, it says 53 seconds, so we're doing all right.
Really? We're doing okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, I may as well check with you one more time. You've got a town meeting coming up in Carbondale. Are you coming back to the district? What will the town meeting consist of, and what do you hope comes up?
Town meetings are just open for whatever people want to bring up. They can ask anything, make comments on anything. We keep them wide open. So it's impossible to predict. And at town meetings also, I don't make speeches. I just hear the comments, answer the questions.
Very good. That should about do it for our time.
Okay.
I think down in Cape they're going